Hey, welcome future China English teachers. I hope you find this video helpful. Before I came to China, I really had no idea what it was going to be like. So anyone coming to China, you'll benefit from watching this. And this is specifically for ILP in Nanjing. So for you, this will be most helpful, but for the rest of you, there's a bunch of topics that I think are applicable to everyone no matter where you go. And so feel free to skip around to the things that interest you or watch the whole thing. It is kind of long though. Okay, this is where we live, right here on campus. This is our tiny kitchen that we share with 24 other people. There's a microwave, toaster oven, stovetop, pretty small and basic. There's not very many ingredients here. It's not really well supplied, but we have some dishes. You can go out and buy your own stuff if you want to bake or cook or anything like that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the hall. We have a printer. We've got a long hall where everybody lives, usually 2 people per room, and some fit 3 to a room. So this is our dryer. It works pretty well. 2 washing machines. Don't bother bringing detergent from home. They have it here. We usually put sticky notes on just to say who's doing the wash. And here's our lockers to hang clothes. Each person gets their own locker with a couple shelves. We have a dehumidifier, a couple desks. Highly recommend buying one of these dehumidifiers here, otherwise your room starts to feel wet and starts to smell. The mattresses here, they're not terrible. They're not very thick, not a whole lot of padding, but the school does provide the bedding. And then we got a little TV. You can bring an HDMI cord. We have a little mini fridge, and then another desk where you can put a lot of stuff. And then you can hang up your clothes. Without a dehumidifier, they'll take forever to dry, and then with one it will dry pretty quick. And then we have a bathroom. Now it's super basic. Everything gets wet when you're showering because there's not a curtain. So we bought a squeegee to clean the floor and mirror. They do have shampoo and conditioner for you. And sometimes the water pressure isn't very good, but you know, sometimes you just have to live with cold showers, but most of the day it's hot. Alright, so now Chinese outlets. Your cell phone's gonna be able to plug into the wall just fine. And then when you get here, you should buy a surge protector, plug everything into it. For a computer, you're going to need one of these adapters because the third prong here is different. You don't need a converter, I promise. Just buy an adapter. It's like 10 bucks on Amazon. That's this thing right here. Your computer can plug into that. Maybe bring your own wireless router because most of the rooms have working internet.
Here's a school cafeteria. It's right where we live and it's really good. There's tons of things that you can choose from. The school does provide money for the cafeteria food. They give you a card and you tap it and you refill it at the end of every month. Usually you would be able to have enough each month. There's so many things to choose from. Here's some dumplings. This is by far the best thing to eat. It's like make your own soup. You put whatever you want and they cook it right in front of you. We're really spoiled here in Nanjing because the food is really good. They do give you rice at every meal, so enjoy.
Alright, next I'm going to show you how to negotiate. There's a lot of underground black marketplaces full of knockoff items. Even if you think it's real and it looks real, it's not. A lot of stuff is identical and really nice quality actually. So our recommendation is not to bring too many clothes and shoes because you can get a lot of stuff for cheap here and you'll want room in your suitcase for your way home. They call the currency here different names: RMB, Yuan, and Kwai. When shopping at one of these places, every person is going to try to make you feel important, like you guys have been best friends for years. Just know everyone's just a salesman. They've been doing this for years. They're just trying to sell. A lot of them are going to start prices as high as 800 yuan for any item, and really your goal is to keep the price as low as possible. Theirs is to make as much money as possible, and so you just want to throw out a ridiculously low number back at them. And even if they start at 800, tell them, I'd pay 50 for that, and then you set the bar for negotiating. So just ask yourself, how much would this cost to make? Not how much would I pay for this in the US, because you're going to pay a lot more than it costs to make. The salesmen, the girls that sell, they put out a little calculator and they give you your sales pitch and they say, hey, 200. Everything they say right off the bat is just a lie. If they're too quick to accept your price, just walk away. Even after you said okay, just walk away. and they're gonna chase you. Just leave, because the price you set is way too high. You're gonna lose money, and you could probably find a lot better deal elsewhere. The best strategy you can do is say, hey, I really like this. Talk to them for a minute and say, what's the best price you can offer me? They'll say something crazy, and then you say, well, I was actually hoping for blank, and then say your price. They'll call you crazy, and they'll say, there's no way I'm gonna make money off of this, or this is really good quality, this is way better than the next guy's. But just walk away and keep walking. They'll try to chase you down and keep saying lower prices to make you come back. If they don't come chasing, it means you probably went a little too low. You can always go back 10 minutes later after going around to a few other shops. So the best lesson that we learned was after getting ripped off, don't buy stuff the first few hours of shopping. Go negotiate, practice haggling with these guys. You'll quickly learn how to bargain. And at the end of the day, these are some of the best experiences that we've had in China. And so go enjoy yourselves and go spend some money. Okay, Google Translate. This is extremely important that you get this app on your phone, Android and iPhone. Be sure to download the Chinese language to your phone so you don't have to be connected to the internet to translate simple things. And they have this awesome photo feature where you can just turn on your camera and it will translate things in real time for you to see what Chinese characters will say in English. Translates it. Some of it's good, some of it's not so great, but it is one of the best apps you could possibly get before coming here. All right, moving on to ExpressVPN. In order to use websites like Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you're going to need this. Make sure you download this while you're in the United States, because it's going to be a lot more difficult to download once you get here. I have a link right here for you to click on to get 1 month free. Other VPNs work, but this one you can see the speed of different locations, pick the fastest connection, and usually when you're on your phone, you just pick the closest one. You don't want to use this when connecting to Chinese websites because it does slow down your internet based on your location, but it's essential here in China since a lot of the websites are blocked. Alright, also when you get here, I would recommend getting a Chinese SIM card. They usually cost between like 8 to 15 bucks a month depending on how much data you want to use. It's super fast on this China Unicom. You just look for that WO4G symbol. It's everywhere, they're orange. The Chinese phone number is super important. Without it, you won't be able to use a lot of stuff like getting a bank account. I've just given you a little map here. You can go and find one of these, and you can cancel your contract, no penalty, even after just 4 months. You just go to one of the main stores downtown. You can switch out your SIM card. You just pop out yours in your phone with a pin, and then you put in your other one. Super simple. It takes like a minute. Definitely get one of these because that phone number is going to come in handy.
Okay, here's the Seatrip app. You can use the desktop site. This is your go-to source for buying trains, flights, hotels. Believe it or not, we've actually found that booking hotels is actually cheaper than hostels when there are 4 or more people. Twin rooms come with about 2 beds. Turn off your VPN when you're booking on the site, otherwise you'll have lots of trouble loading. Also, at the end, turn off the flight insurance or they'll tack on an extra $12 for a flight round trip. Just a warning, be cautious because it's really hard to get a refund, so don't book unless you're 100% sure with your plans. We haven't found a better source, so definitely get this now. Maybe you'll find out your vacations is already set in stones and you can book them.
Metro now. The Metro stop is close by. It's cheap. It's like 30 cents to $1 depending on how far you go. We will leave our Metro cards in an envelope for you guys when you get here. There's probably not going to be enough, but you can buy one for about $5 at the Nanjing train station Metro stop. Definitely get one. They'll save you a bit of money and a hassle of buying tokens every time you get on. And alright, so here's the Nanjing train station. This is where you're going to pick up your ticket. There's a ticket window at the Golden Eagle Mall. It's the first stop near the school, but this is where you can buy tickets as well. You need your passport. You have to wait in that line right there, and then you can buy tickets last minute. Sometimes they won't be available, but there's a lot of trains. It's not quite as crazy as getting a flight. You can do a sleeper train, hard seat. If you want to do cheaper, hard seat's kind of like a third class. These seats right here are like an airplane. It's like second class. And then this is standing room only, where you can sit or stand. And this is the map of the school. where you walk to the metro stop. That's to go a little bit farther. And then if you want to take the bus, you can take the bus to closer places. So we'll go ahead and show you how to get there. So this is just a little time lapse I made just to show you how to get to the bank and the grocery store. You should open up a bank account if you don't like carrying around cash, or if you want to buy stuff online. It really opens up a lot of possibilities for you if you have a bank and one of those Chinese phone numbers. So definitely do that, especially if you're going to be here for 4 months. It's going to be really helpful. It's called China Union Pay. It's like a debit card. You just bring your passport to the bank. It's super easy. Bring some cash with you. You can exchange it there, and then you'll deposit that money, put it onto your card. It's just like a US bank account. It's exactly the same. It doesn't really cost anything to set up. It's like 10 yuan. You know, if you want to use your debit card online, it's super convenient for Uber, Taobao, and Alipay, which really open up a lot of doors while you're here. Without that, just gonna use cash all the time and depend on other people to buy stuff like Seatrip. It's really convenient to use a China Union Pay card. Sometimes your Visa won't go through, sometimes your Discover won't go through, so you just really want to get one of those cards. If you want to avoid the ATM fees, bring some cash with you. You do get a better rate. You avoid those fees. Once you get your ATM card, this is where you can come to deposit money as well. Once you get a Chinese SIM card, you'll be able to use Alipay. You'll be able to sign up for an account. Just make sure when you type in your name to use all caps, and the app tends to work better than their desktop site does. And then as far as Taobao goes, you can sign up for a Taobao account as soon as you have that China debit card. You just type in your number, type in your name, all caps, and your passport number, all that jazz. And you can sign up for Taobao. It's free. It's like Amazon. It's great. Definitely use it while you're here. It is a lifesaver. And they deliver to the north door, the gate, where you first entered. That video actually passed by that gate. And that's where you'll pick up your packages at noon pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. And if you have any trouble signing up for an Alipay account, do Taobao first. They will create an Alipay account for you. Then you just have to confirm it with Alipay. So if you're out after 11 p.m. or if you're coming home from a vacation or whatever, the cheapest way to get around is using Uber. And when the metro and bus or if they take too long, it's kind of a pain in the butt. You do have to translate the address into Chinese symbols. I haven't figured out a way not to. But it is half the price of a taxi, so if you're going a far distance, you might save a significant amount of money. You do need Alipay for this to work. If you want, for your first ride, there's a $15 promo code. Just click on that, and you'll get $15 for signing up through that code. And it's definitely a really convenient app, and it might save you when there's no taxis around. Alright, we're going to go ahead and show you the grocery store. This is Suguo, or however you say it, SG. It's right next to the bank. It's got a lot of the stuff that you have in the States. Some stuff is cheap, some is more expensive. It just depends. Very few things I would say you can't find here. Except for food. There's a lot of food stuff that you're not going to find here. And you're going to have a really hard time if you're not into trying new things. There's a lot of weird packaging that you don't know what it says because it's in Chinese characters, but just go out and try stuff. And yeah, they've got a lot of stuff. Some stuff you're gonna think is gonna taste good and it doesn't, and there's some stuff that you think is gonna taste bad and it tastes good. So cereal, I wouldn't recommend buying it. It's super expensive here. Bring cereal from home if you're a cereal person. The soda here, you're only gonna find Coke and Sprite, maybe one other thing, but China's a good reason to diet from soda because they don't really have it here. This is a good opportunity to use the Google Translate app at the store. If you're looking for something, you can just type it in English and translate it to Chinese and ask someone where it is. Stuff like peanut butter, flour, if you want to cook or bake cookies.
Okay, here's our supply room where we keep all of our school supplies. The kids love toys and American candy. They seriously love American candy. I can't stress enough how much candy and small toys like bracelets, rings, cars, animals, cheap stuff like that they love. Prizes are also really good motivators for them. Play-Doh is awesome. You can never have too much. The kids love receiving stickers. We have tons of markers. Kitchen stuff is always in short supply here. We can always use more baking stuff. Construction paper is always a necessity. Like, kids go through construction paper like crazy, especially if you're going to be doing arts and crafts like every single week. You're going to need tons and tons of construction paper. Popsicle sticks are awesome, and googly eyes are really great. You can never have too many of those. The paint gets too messy for kids, especially like the younger ones. It's usually it gets kind of out of control, and they will paint themselves or paint things that don't need paint on them. We could use a few regular scissors, big ones for the teachers to use as well. It's kind of annoying for us trying to cut some stuff with these tiny little baby scissors. Glue sticks are great because you use them all the time. We really need a lot of glue sticks because they dry out really fast. We don't really use pens or pencils, mostly crayons. The kids use tons and tons of crayons, and they hate when they're all dirty and broken, so they like really nice crayons. Bring a little of those kids books that like your mom or your dad read to you when you were little. They love those little books. They like to sit for story time, and they pay attention. So yeah, bring a bunch of kids books.
Alright, this one's for you guys coming to Nanjing. We come here all the time. They make noodles by hand right in front of you for about $2 for a bowl. The price you see is the price you pay. Tax and tip are included at every restaurant you go to. Alright, so just go explore. There's tons of great places to eat. They have an Indian restaurant place called Masala, a sushi place, mango smoothie places all over. Alright, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're not as clueless as I was when I got here. I put a lot of hours in this for you, and I hope it was worth it.